Warning, you are not watching Siskel and Ebert.
You are now entering Wang world.
Topical back with another video. I'm Strange Wang in the flesh, but today I have a film review for the very anticipated, my second most anticipated movie of this year, John Wick Chapter 4. But before we get into that, there's a thanks button underneath this video, and if you want to click that and say, Strange Wang and Nate, you've been working hard, let me donate you some of that Bob De Niro, that cheese, that cheddar, that mozzarella, then
I appreciate that.
And if you keep looking under that, you will find all of our social media links. Follow us on that. Stay up to date with us. But let's get down to brass tacks. I gave John Wick Chapter 4 9.3 out of 10 Wangs.
Why?
Because John Wick Chapter 4 continues, it brings over everything great from the 3 previous films and puts it into this film. And, you know, I could talk about the obvious stuff, but the set designs. John Wick has some of the most prettiest set designs in all of film history. And to set those action sequences in these amazing sets just adds a touch of flair. And it's these little details that make the world building what it is. And speaking of the world building, the script doesn't disappoint on that either. The world building in this film is consistent, it's logical, it makes sense. It matches what the third film did and the second film, and a little bit of world building we got from John Wick, the first film. So to put that in this perspective, within the story, it matched perfectly and did an excellent job and fleshed out the world a little bit more. Even if we didn't need it, it did a super good job of that. I think we didn't need it for the most part because you get into more rules. You get deeper into this larger system that everyone is under when it comes to the table and their rules and consequences. You also have amazing acting from actors that you don't get to see every day. Clancy Brown's in this. You may know him as Mr. Krabs. I know him from Shawshank Redemption, one of the greatest movies of all time. So he's in this. Good to see him. You got It the Clown. That motherfucker's in here. He's a creepy looking fellow. But good acting from all the new actors in this film. All the old actors coming back. Great performances as always. They know these characters. Most of them are, this is going to be the character they're most well known for. And even Keanu Reeves, I would say 15, 20 years down the line, people are still going to be like, that's John Wick. Not many people are going to be like, oh, that's Neo. No, that's John fucking Wick. So the acting, good as always. Dialogue, not the greatest, not the worst, but it matches what the film needs to be. It matches the tone. So the dialogue is good in my book. And cinematography, I should have talked about this when I was talking about the set design. But cinematography, beautiful as always. They know how to light the scene. They know how to light darkness to make the action scenes visible enough for you to see what's happening, but also not blow out the motherfucker with the light, things like that. Flashlight use. You've seen it in all the John Wick films. It's very good how they add that and incorporate it into these scenes. But we know all of that from the last John Wick films. So what makes this John Wick film any different? Not too much.
Tell me more.
These people have been behind the camera, in front of the camera, getting this shit perfected with the most consistent franchise of all time. In my personal opinion, this is the greatest franchise of all time.
It's debatable.
But these people have this franchise locked and loaded. They know what they're doing. They got this shit down pat with a bow and a ribbon. So they didn't need to change everything too much. Also, the action is just as good as the first 3. However, it's not as different as I wanted it to be. Because 1, it introduces us to the Gun Fu. Incredible. 2 is more story, world building based. with a memorable action scene with him and Common when they're just shooting at one another walking through the station. Then 3, just, alright, we haven't used knives yet, axes, throwing knives, horses, dogs, whatever you can think of. Let's just throw all these different action sequences in there to show John Wick he has a wide range of killing abilities. This film, the action, I've already seen it.
Oh, really? That sucks.
It's still very good, don't get me wrong, but when you've sat down and ate a steak 6 days in a row, it's not as good as it was the first day.
That's fair.
None of the action films stuck out the strange Wang personally. We do get to see a new set of skills with a new weapon with John Wick in one scene. But even that wasn't particularly mind-blowing. Is it cool? Yes, all the action in this movie is cool. It's the greatest action franchise of all time.
Ease. The greatest of ease.
That's right.
There was nothing I really disliked in this film. There's things that I thought that could have been better, like the action and like the tension. I felt like this film lacked tension. We see John Wick. He's the boogeyman. He gets hurt. He gets shot a lot. Okay. He's hurt. So maybe as an audience member, in my head, he's not going to win because he's hurt so bad. Well, another way to add investment behind a character is to add tension. Don't give me what I want right away. Let me wait. There's 2 in particular circumstances where this applies. I thought you could have added more tension. One being the poker 5-card stud scene. I can't remember. I think it's 5-card. The scene with the cards. I felt like they just blew by it when they could have added tension to it and built it up to something bigger than what it was. Still a good scene though. So I can't say it is bad because it gives us a little bit of tension. I want to be held on like a fish. I want to be hooked to the end. That's just how I like my movies. I love thriller suspenses. I love action thrillers as well. Put me on that line. Take me on the ride. Even if it is just for 2 or 3 minutes. Tension, tension, tension. I love it. I love being suspensified. I don't know. I don't know words. I'm illiterate.
Stupid.
The other thing I didn't really care for in John Wick Chapter 4 is Shamir Anderson. Hope I'm saying that right. His role as... He keeps calling himself Nobody, so I'm going to say his name is Nobody. Guess what? Didn't them John Wick boys create another movie that went by Nobody? Yes, they did. So, alright, I'm thinking not about John Wick 4 when he's introduced. I'm thinking about that movie. And guess what? He has a dog with him. Where have I seen that before relating to the John Wick franchise? Oh, the actual John Wick franchise. John Wick Chapter 3, Halle Berry's character with the dogs. Very cool, very exciting in the first film. When you reuse the dog stuff in this film, it's not as cool or exciting. And speaking of, I saw that and I was like, man, John Wick Chapter 3, they said, you helped John Wick? Fuck you. They went after him, brutalized him, kill him in some cases for helping John Wick. What happened to Halle Berry? Halle Berry, hallelujah. I want to, like, she coming back? Is Common coming back? And then I started asking questions I never got answers to. So I thought with taking so much from your minds to put on a character made it a little distracting for that character. But
Again.
Shamir Anderson did a really good job of what he was given. I like his motivation in this film. It makes sense. That's what I would do. I'm about that cream. You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, I loved it. I just didn't like that it borrowed so much from other things in the John Wick universe. But John Wick Chapter 4 is amazing. It's a great movie. It solidifies that this is one of the greatest action franchises of all time. The greatest action franchise of all time, but I would even say it's the greatest franchise of all time. How consistent, how good these films are is simply incredible. It's mind-blowing even. The director of this film had balls to try stuff and do things and slow down the pace at times pick it back up. And the decisions put in John Wick Chapter 4 are very ballsy, and I appreciated it because, you know, a lot of people probably walked out of that movie and was like, damn, I didn't like this part or this decision. I loved it. I loved it. I loved John Wick as a character. Even though I think he's a little selfish, I understand the place he's coming from, the revenge aspect of that film, and the decisions made in this movie, I 100% enjoyed and loved, and was glad they did do it, because honestly, you could probably squeeze out another 2 John Wick films, but the franchise is ended here. I believe so. I believe, again, you could go off and do a Halle Berry thing. They're talking about the hotel show. I don't know, but I know John Wick Chapter 4 is a great fucking movie, which is why Strange Wang gave it a 9.3 out of 10 Wangs. Let me know in the comment section below, what did you give it? Scroll back up, hit the like button, share the video.
And then what?
Subscribe.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.